You ready?
Where's the diversity?
Just wait. And immigrants.
Yeah, immigrant women. Oh, that moves.
Somebody want to meme that face? Hello? And welcome to the first ever True North Dreamin. Before we move on, I just want to personally thank you, each and every one of you from the True North Dreamin organizing team, for making this event happen. The sponsors made it happen, the volunteers made it happen, the organizing team made it happen, and our attendees, most of all, make this as important as it truly is. This is the first Salesforce Community Conference in the country. And we did it because we all had a dream and a lot of elbow grease. So, yeah. Sorry, not gonna cry.
It's okay if you do.
Thank you.
Save it for tomorrow.
So I believe Mr. Panter was going to give us a little bit of information on the wonderful town of Ottawa. Because TND facts. TND facts.
Hashtag TND facts.
Hi, everyone. Just a show of hands, how many people are outside of Canada that were here?
Wow, thank you for being here.
So for those of you in the area, you probably know what I'm about to do. For those who are not in the area, I want to make sure that we acknowledge that, or begin the conference by acknowledging that the land that we gather on is unceded Algonquin territory. It is very important for us to do this because it allows us to begin, and I apologize, I wrote this down because I can't remember my name right now. This is just so exciting for me, but it's very important for us to understand that this is unceded territory. It allows us to acknowledge the fact that this territory is unceded and allow us to cultivate meaningful and reciprocal relationships with the First Nation, the Indian, and the Métis of the nation. I implore all of you to reach out to your local Indigenous communities so that you can open pathways for dialogue and where the shared history and separate histories of the First Nations and Inuit and Métis people and Canadians may be explored. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you, Nick.
Now you're going to do that whole thing again in French, right?
That was on point.
So, of course, this wonderful event would not be possible without the support and the encouragement from all of our wonderful sponsors. So please make sure that you stop by and you say hi to them throughout the event. On the back of your programs, you'll note there's little spots for stamps, so I'm going to get to that in a second, but please make sure you say thank you to our sponsors because we couldn't do this without them.
This is us. This is the TND organizing team. Each and every one of these people. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yep, up the back there, yep.
We know each other very well now.
We do. And of course, it wouldn't be a Salesforce-related event without a raffle and some swag. So we have some wonderful prizes. The giant Cody you may have seen on your way in. We have some certification vouchers. We have some passes from some of our sister events. And we have some signed Ottawa Senators swag. Signed Ottawa Senators swag.
From the Sens Foundation.
Yes, who are here, so you know.
Who do amazing work. Go Leafs, go. Okay.
I'm Australian, right? So. And of course, many other wonderful items from our wonderful sponsors. Some of them are raffling as part of us, and some of them are raffling at their own booths, so make sure you stop by to see.
All raffles will be drawn here
Yes.
at the end of tomorrow, and we have an announcement tomorrow right before our raffle, so be there, be square.
Yes. Oh, and of course, listen to the Salesforce Admins podcast. They are trying to grow subscribers, so we have a couple of fun ways that you can earn extra raffle tickets by subscribing, things like that, which I'll get to in a second.
Okay, so here's how you earn raffle tickets, because we assume that every one of you likes prizes because Canada does points for serious Who has an Air Miles card or a, what's
Aeroplan.
Aeroplan. How are those two different
Yeah.
things? They both start with the A. I get
Yeah,
confused
I
all the
don't know,
time. Anyway, so the first way that you can earn a raffle ticket is by registering. Congratulations, you all have at least one raffle ticket in your little pouch. The second way that you can do it is by talking to all of our sponsors. Again, the sponsors are how we were able to be here and be able to serve our community. So please thank them, please talk with them. They're all upstanding people. Nobody there wants to do you harm. This is the Salesforce Ohana. Welcome. So talk to our sponsors. You fill the back of your agenda. You get 5 raffle tickets. You can also participate in the sessions by asking great questions, making great comments. Our speakers, surprise speakers, will have access to raffle tickets to give out during their sessions. So participate. Yeah, you're welcome, speakers. Nothing like a wrench right at the last minute.
I see that, Leah. I see that.
Also, you can subscribe and show that you are subscribed to the Salesforce Admins podcast at the registration or the Swag Chalet, and you'll be able to get another raffle ticket, as well as there is a booth right there with a nice background that you can write a gratitude card for. It's called a gratitude tree, which I think is amazing, and I'm not going to cry. But if you take a picture with any of those props and the hashtags TND19 or Admins Podcast, show that to the Reg or the Swiss Chalet. It's not Swiss Chalet, Swag Chalet, that's what it is. And you can get another raffle ticket. So all in all, you can really up your chances of winning one of the amazing prizes. We will have those out tomorrow so that you can see them, but just know that they're awesome, and I really want to earn raffle tickets, so I can't.
And I know I mentioned our friends at the Salesforce admin team before, but they have a very cool little thing that I'm going to talk about real quick. They are offering a proficiency pack for new admins. It's normally valued at $900 US, but they've given us 50 vouchers for $99 US. So pick up a card.
Yes, thank you. Wow.
Yeah, right? Wow, like we wish
What I
we
would
had
have
this.
given.
Exactly, right? Pick up a card at the Swag Chalet. There are more cards than there are codes, so make sure you register straight away. You can give that to someone if you already have your admin certification. But it expires, you have to register before August 12th. So visit the Swag Chalet. We're saying that a lot, Swag Chalet.
I had called it the Swag Cabana, and then I had to make it Canadian.
Yeah,
so
right, Swag
it's
Chalet.
the Swag Chalet.
Yeah,
Are Salesforce employees exempt from that?
probably.
Probably, yeah. If you are the type who is into this thing, and I'm not, but I'm still going, we're doing a haunted walk. It's an after-hours activity. Thank you.
Yes.
Is that for my bravery? We're doing a haunted walk around downtown Ottawa this evening. It is an additional charge. You can go to our Eventbrite. It's $30, and you can just do an add-on. But it goes through, Ottawa is a really old town, and you are able to learn about the history in a not jump scare type of way.
Historical.
I'm
It's
assured.
historical.
It's historical.
Yeah, historical. Yeah.
You mean this isn't about Oracle API?
Sick burn.
Shots fired.
So anyway, head on over to our Eventbrite page to do that. That is tonight. We will be, for those of you who are registered or those who will register, we'll be leaving here en masse with a taxi caravan around 7:30 to get there by our 8:15 time. It does plan on raining this evening. Welcome to Ottawa. They have ponchos. It's a rain or shine event. So come on down.
So one little community service announcement before we kick things off. Most of you will have a QR code on the back of your badge. If you do not, that QR code can also be found in the Swap Card app. Having some technical difficulties there, so we didn't get to be able to print them off for everyone, but it's in the app if you need it. So with that, so how...
Wait a second, one more thing.
One more thing.
Shoot, I forgot it.
Later? Yes,
Seriously.
pregnancy brain.
That is
Okay.
a real thing.
So we're going to kick things off. Who are we going to kick things off with, Sarah?
Okay,
You can
so
say something later.
Anyway, we have 3 amazing keynote speakers for you guys over the next 2 days. Absolutely. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our first keynote speaker, and you guys can read her bio on our website, but let me tell you how I met her. Leah was the instructor for a course that I wanted to take. And the course I wanted to take was Intro to Object-Oriented Programming. I am an admin. I'm very safe and happy in my admin land. But I kept running up against the code cliff. And it kept stopping me from being able to solution because I didn't understand. So one year I was like, that's it, I'm done not understanding. There's no reason I can't learn this. So I signed up for the class, and Leah was very patient. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that I am not a developer. I also know that I can write a damn trigger if I want to. Leah was patient with me, was very compassionate, and empowered me to know that I could make that choice, and I could earn those skills, regardless of what I wanted to call myself or what badge I wanted to wear. So I'm a huge proponent of bridging that divide between developers and admins. Every good developer should be an admin, and every good admin should be a developer. But that being said, it is my utmost honor to introduce Leah McGowen-Hare.
Thank you.
Go girl.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah, I can switch it. I think I can handle that. I think I just double click, right? That's what we do. And then I go to present. Oh, I'm so technical. See how smooth that was? That was real smooth. Oh, but I'm going to do this too. Hello, Canada. Hello, True North Dreaming. What an amazing feat to be here amongst, I'm telling you this, I taught a class several years back in Toronto, and the people were so nice. I know you guys get sick of hearing this, but I truly considered, and I came in January. It was a snowstorm. I was like snowed in. I still considered relocating my family to Canada because y'all were just so nice. So I am very happy to be here amongst you all. And once again, thanking all the wonderful sponsors. I see you get feedback. And all the sponsors out there, please check out their booths because without them, this would not be happening. And more importantly, I'm going to talk about going from vision to victory and what that looks like. And I'm going to cover a few of the things that it requires from my perspective to get there, but not all of the things. But I want you to think about, as we go through this dialogue, as we go through this time, how you got to a place of victory, whatever that might have been for you, and how that started. And all we have to do is look at these people. Can you all stand up? Can you all stand up if you're in this room? True North Dreamin, where you at? There's only 2, 3, 4. Yes, give it up for them. Yes, yes. Because they had a vision for what is happening today. I had the honor of talking with Nick earlier, and this vision started back in 2015. But he had this vision of bringing together this amazing Ohana, which he knew existed, in a way that was traditional with our crazy Salesforce Ohana way. But he didn't let go of that vision. He brought in the people. He knew he couldn't do it alone. He needed allies, and he needed to take action. And then, boom, came in his squad, right? So he found his peoples who actually made this happen. And in that process, it took creativity, it took hard work, and as Zarina said, a lot of elbow grease, right? I don't know where that came in, but okay. But all of that, right? All of that, it started with their vision. And in thinking about them having the vision for this, which you all part of history, you all are history makers, so you can put it on your CVs or your resumes that you're history makers taking part in this today. But in doing that, it made me think of a story. It made me think of a story of this little girl who too had a vision. She had a vision that for Halloween, she wanted to dress up as a hot dog. Now it's a small vision, a silly vision. She wanted to not just be a hot dog, but an angel hot dog. And the rule in her school was, in order to dress in a Halloween costume, it has to be based off a fictional storybook character. So she did as most kids do, runs to her parents, like, I gotta be a hot dog. So what do most parents or guardians or aunties or uncles or cousins do? We wanna support the kids in their vision. And that's right, it's like cue music, thank you. It's a musical. So the father frantically starts scouring the internet for stories about a hot dog. Now, the stories have to be uplifting and positive. Well, as he soon learned, he found a story about a hot dog getting eaten. Not a good story, not uplifting, not at least for the hot dog. Then he found one about a hot dog being ripped into two. Once again, not very uplifting. And then he also learned there were very inappropriate hot dog stories, right? And what he learned was never Google stories on hot dogs without clutching your pearls, okay? So he had to prefix that with children's stories on hot dogs. Nonetheless, he didn't find anything. So what he did is he went back to his daughter and he said, listen, I couldn't find any story about hot dogs, but why don't you be a unicorn or a princess? There's plenty of stories on that. And she considered resetting her vision, saying, okay, well, maybe I'll think about it. And she came back with, nope, What I will do, though, is I won't be a hot dog angel, just a plain hot dog. Can you find a story about just a plain hot dog? And then the father was like, okay, she is stuck on this vision. I got to make this happen. So he got an idea. He thought, during this process, trying to help her get to her vision, I was tapping into my consumer. I was looking for something that was already made. I was spending tons of energy. Where is it? I know it exists. I'm just going to go out there. Instead, tapping into my creativity. So he went from consumer to creator, and he created his own storybook about a hot dog that was uplifting and positive. And he found a website. He used technology. He went there. There's so many websites out there that you can go out there and create a storybook, printed out the PDF, and said, boom, guess what? You can be a hot dog, take the book to school, voila. So she made it to her vision. Now, I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, what does a story about a hot dog have to do? But it started a very simple vision and how we got to victory. So I want to look at that a little bit closely. What were some of the things that we saw in there? So if I'm going from vision to victory, and anybody who knows me, I'm always trying to come up with an acronym because that's how things can stick, right? So I came up with, and poor Chris, I was like, what about this acronym? What about VACT, VAC, VOOSH? She was like, just stop. So I came up with VAC. Vision, you got to start with your vision, right? And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Action and advocacy. There were so many things I found with A, and I was like, Leah, just narrow it down to 2 that you can talk about because I could be up here all day. Action and advocacy. And then C, creativity. These are some of the things that I highlighted in that story and in that process that I wanted to talk a little bit about. And this, too, applies to our amazing True North Dreamin team, right? So it starts with vision. Vision, you've got to have one. We find ourselves, and let me not say we, I will own this. I find myself every day getting stuck up in the routine. Make the kids lunch, get them to school, get to work, get home. I'm going to try to work out. Okay, maybe tomorrow. I'd rather watch my shows. Okay, just getting caught up in the routine of execution and never making that time to step back and say, what is my vision? How do you do that? You have to carve out time to be still. Constant movement, constant going forward doesn't allow for space to have a vision. Now, there are moments that I'm like either on BART going into the city and an idea will come to me, or I go running. But then it's like it's fleeing because then I'm on to the next thing. I get into work and I'm in a meeting somewhere, right? But capturing those as they come will help contribute to your vision. I heard this once. Problems push, visions pull. And I thought, what? Well, when you're always operating in a state of solving problems, I got to get up and, you're being pushed by solving problems. I got to go here, got to make sure of this. Then you're just pushing yourself through the day. But when you find that vision, when you find that purpose, you wake up like kicking in the front door like, woo, I am heading that way to make this happen. And everything I do will contribute to that. And I'm sure my True North Dreamin folks did that once they got together and started collaborating. I'm sure there were a little bit of fights, like, wait a minute, we're not doing it this way. But they were all pulled toward a vision. But you've got to create that space and time to allow yourself to see that vision. Articulate your vision. Be able to articulate it, right? Be able to say it to yourself. What is your vision? I know also people will say have your pitch ready. It could be a pitch, doesn't have to be a pitch, but know what is your vision. And know that it does change throughout your life. What does it look like, right? And I'm a proponent of share discriminately. Don't be telling everybody your business. Don't be telling everybody your dreams. Why? Not everybody's a supporter, I hate to tell you. And it's not that they come from a place of malice, but you know you have those people in your circles, in your space, who are okay with mediocrity, right? And they're like, why are you doing all that? That's a lot of work. Girl, let's just go kick it at the club. What are you talking about? Why are you doing this? Mediocrity loves to kill excellence, right? So and then you have to then start, that will start to seep into your space like, well, maybe I am trying to do too much. Maybe I should just be happy where I'm at. Maybe I should be mindful of who you share it with, right? Because these are not people that are out to get you. They just want you to be operating at their level because that's all they know, right? So you want to make sure you're bringing the right people to your space, sharing your vision with the right people. And always think bigger. I was talking with Sarah today, and they said initially, what was the number? That you guys were only supposed to be 50. So only y'all were supposed to be here. The rest was not supposed to be here, right? That was their vision. So I'm supposed to be just talking to y'all over here. That was their vision. But they created a space to be bigger, right? To think bigger, bring in more, think beyond you. And here's the thing. Nick and Sarah, when they were sharing their vision and how it came about, it was never once about them. Damn straight. That's right. It was never once about them. It was about how can we serve this community in a bigger way. I know they're out there. How can we bring them together in a collective way so that they can inspire each other, learn from each other? So that's what's even more important, that your vision isn't just serving you or even just your immediate family. What is a bigger way? How does it serve the community? So vision is a big part of, creating that vision. And then there is, oops, I went backwards, action and advocacy. Action. It's one thing to talk about it, but it's a whole nother thing to be about it, right? You got those friends. Every week they got a new, listen to my idea, right? So I'm going to do this and I'm going to create this app. And this app is going to be amazing. The next week they're like, girl, forget that app. But let me tell you about this other idea. And every idea, they're just ping-ponging. And they're visionaries. And it's awesome. But they're not about the action. That is what's the most important, is being about the action. And if you have trouble about being about the action, get the right people in your circle that will hold you accountable and help guide you to that action. Find those advocates, those people who will support you through that. So have an action. And once you have an action, set milestones. And I'll never forget, there's this friend of mine, and I forget what I was working on, something, and he said to me, well, that choice you're about to make, does it contribute to where you're trying to go? And I thought, no, but it was fun. It was like, but it's not contributing to where you want to go. So all the choices that you need to make need to be directly or indirectly helping you get to that goal. Or else it's just like you're on a road somewhere and then you start going over here. And let me come back. That was just wasted energy. Make sure if that vision is that important to you, that all the choices you make, and I'm not talking about choices just about situations, I'm talking about choices of people in your space, right? Choices about where you're going, choices about the things you're doing. Is it contributing to where you're trying to go? I'm sure in the planning and bringing this event together, they had to be mindful about the choices they were doing. Like, no, that will take us off over here. Not trying to do that. Reduce the scope, right? So be mindful, set mindful, and like I said, do something every day. And then find your squad. Find your people. Find your squad. I have this analogy I was telling Chris this morning. There are certain people that I will invite on my porch. There are certain people I will invite into my living room. There are a smaller group that I will invite into my bedroom. And a very, very small amount that will go into my closet because I love my shoes, right? And there are some people I don't want nowhere near my damn house. Get off my street, right? So being mindful of the people in your circle. Not everybody deserves to be up in your living room. And damn sure don't be in your bedroom, no, right? So being mindful of who is your squad and knowing the gifts and talent that each of them bring. Everybody brings something special and different, just as you bring something different and special to someone else. So being mindful of that squad and knowing, I call it, I have a set of girlfriends that are my board of directors. And they keep me on point. And I have people who keep it very real with me. 2 of them right here. My daughter, she'll tell me in a minute, girl, what is going on with your hair? What is that outfit about, mommy? And then I got Kristen like, now Leah, hold up, take a pause. Let's rethink this. You're being a little harsh. I'm like, well, that's what I'm supposed to be. So, but she keeps it real with me. And those are the people you need in your space, right? So you don't want yes people around you because you'll never grow. You also don't want naysayers constantly telling you can't do things. So also how I evaluate, I'm a big feeling person. How does this person make me feel when I'm around them? Do they make me feel like I can conquer the world, or do they make me feel like I need to be smaller? That's my barometer for how I evaluate, right? And be open to resetting your goals, right? We saw in the hot dog story, the girl wanted to be a hot dog with wings. And then she's like, okay, I'm willing to compromise. How about just a plain hot dog, right? And I'm sure when True North Dreamin, they were setting goals, they had to scale back. They had to reset to make it attainable. So, and that's what your squad is going to keep you connected and be like, that's good, but you want to make sure let's rethink that. It will still get you there. It may not get you there with the extra frills, but what's more important? And then there's creativity. You know, creativity is the skill of the future. Technology is taking over a lot of, mundane tasks that we might have done. But the one thing it can't do is take away our creativity. And the one thing I think about often, how many people here have seen the play Hamilton, right? If you haven't, you get to know about, okay. Well, I don't know what the equivalent in Canada would be. Hamilton. Okay. I love you, Sarah. There's no way any AI algorithm could have spit out that musical. Amazing. Creativity is the foundation. Technology helps us bring our creativity to a whole nother level, but it's not gonna create those end results. So definitely tap into your creativity. When that father went to go write the book, he didn't think he could write a book. He was like, I just need to get this girl a hot dog book so she can get off my back, right? So creativity, we all are born with it. But you've got to make space to tap into it. And creativity doesn't mean you got to go find a paintbrush and start painting stuff. It looks different depending on who you are. My daughter is one of the most creative, and I know she's going to be mad. I'm not even telling her business because she's right here. She's one of the most creative people I know. She creates from the minute she gets up to the minute she goes to bed. One day, I saw the Barbie doll's head ripped off, and I thought, oh no, where is this going? But the Barbie doll did not have hair like hers. And she was like, oh, we're going to do something about this. So she ripped off the Barbie doll's head to take the hair out to replace it with yarn. So it looked more like hers and she could braid it up. And I was like, okay, whew. I thought this was going in a different direction of ripping off Barbie doll heads, right? But that was her creativity driving her. And we didn't scold her. I did say, can we try a little different next time? I think we did. Because, seeing Barbie doll heads ripped off is just not a delightful sight. But we worked on it. But if she doesn't see it, she figures out how to create it. One of the things, she has this dollhouse. She builds everything for it. She builds little iPads, builds all the stuff, this is why I don't buy her that stuff, because she just creates it. So she's like, that is not the reason why. But you want to create space for that creativity. So in that getting from vision to victory, those are some of the main things I think about that drives you there. But I want to return for a moment back to the story of this hot dog. And y'all probably thinking, can we get off this hot dog? But this story comes from a place of truth, because that little girl was actually my son, and that parent was actually me. And it was actually my son who ended up being a hot dog. But there's one more, M-O-A-R, because we like to say more in a fun way. In that vision, I never had thought about writing a book. I just wanted my son to stop asking me about this hot dog thing. So I jumped on literally to a website called Story Jumper, created this book called Charlie the Hot Dog. Put it together, printed out the PDF, thought I was done. But this is when you leave space for opportunity. This is when you reset vision. I then started getting notified about this book. They loved this book. Story Jumpers were like, you should do this in Portuguese in Brazil. I'm like, what? I just did it for my kids' class. So long story short, I ended up publishing the book. I am now a published child author. Never once was in my dream, but I was open to opportunity, right? So with that, I thank you. And now I think I'm supposed to open it up for questions to give away the raffle tickets that I thought I was going to keep myself. But apparently not. So with that, yes?
What happens to the hot dog?
Oh, well, I actually have the book. The hot dog's amazing. Charlie the hot dog is a friend. Charlie the hot dog, very short summary, he visits a friend named Peter the pizza, Samantha the sub, and who else, Moni? Henry the hamburger. And as he visits each of them, he notices all their wonderful toppings that they have. And he notices how plain he is. So after each time he visits someone, he puts a topping on, but it doesn't feel good. And then when he was visiting each of them, they would say things like, you make me so happy because you're funny, or you're such a great friend because you're a good listener. And he realized all the things that his friends were telling him about had nothing to do with his external, but we're all on the internal. Because at the end, he learned it's what's on the inside that makes you beautiful. And we all know what's on the inside of a hot dog is so wonderful. Moni, can you take that gentleman a raffle ticket? My daughter will deliver you a raffle ticket. Yes. It is. I'm low on inventory, but I can give you the site. You can just go to charliethehotdog.com, all one word. Yes.
So a comment and then a question.
Yes.
I love the concept of the book because I always believe that you are a combination of who you meet.
Yeah.
So incorporating
I like that.
ties and positivity with who you meet. That's awesome. Question for you. So this story jumper, this is just for the purposes of kind of like printing a story. Could you have self-published? Like what was the process?
I did self-publish. I downloaded the PDF and I went to I forget the site. I did this in 2014. I self-published. I did to a site. Then I had to register my ISN, all of that. So, yep, self-published. Yes.
Hi, I'm Shilpa.
Hi, Shimon.
My question is around those two concepts that you introduced, vision and action, right?
Yes.
So it's quite contradicting because when you see vision, you have to be still there.
Mhm.
Action, you need to hustle, you need to make
That's right.
every day. So you need a lot of, strength in you to move from that vision to action.
Yes.
And how long does it take, or when do you think you're ready from that vision state to action state?
All great questions. So to clarify, the vision, I'm saying you need to create space to be still to get your vision. There's a whole process of getting your vision. If we never create space, if we constantly overbook ourselves, overschedule ourselves, and we're running, I got to take care of the kids this, I got to go, take care and do this, and I got to do this for work, you're not creating space to slow down. And whatever that is, whether it's prayer, meditation, just watching, turning off the TV. I always tell people, turn off the television so you can create your own vision, right? So just creating that space of being still to receive and be in touch with yourself. What is your vision? That's what I mean in terms of not having action, but creating that space and being still. Once you have a vision, it's not enough just to be like, I finally see what it is. What is the action you're going to do to take it from here to actually reality? What are you going to do? What are those steps? Now, how long that takes, girl, that depends. That's on you, right? And it depends on how big is your vision and what you're trying to do. But I believe if you make a point of contributing every day to doing something to getting you there, whether you get there 10 years, 5 years, you're moving through this world with a sense of purpose. So if I make a point of every day, I'll take this as a small example. I have a vision of myself, getting better in shape. Right, that's my vision. And I'm an avid believer of vision boards, right? So I put together a vision board. I put Zarina Williams. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get there one day, right? But I'm not going to get there without action. So every day I have to do something to get myself there, whether it is I work out 30 minutes today, tomorrow I work out an hour, whatever it is, doing something to get myself there. And I often think of it as deposits, right? If I'm doing something, I'm making a deposit into my vision account. When I'm not doing anything, or I'm taking things away, or I'm sitting out there binge watching, whatever TV show, I am taking away from that vision account. So what deposits are you making to get there? Does that answer your question? Yes. Uh-oh. There's another one who keeps it real for me.
Would you also say it's an iterative process?
Absolutely.
I feel like,
Is it an iterative process?
because I also feel like just because your movement doesn't equal progress.
Right.
So
Well,
keep reassessing.
I think it does equal progress to a point, right? Because if you didn't make that movement, you might not know that you've got to reiterate, go back and make some changes. If you stayed stagnant, the things you learned moving forward, you would have not learned.
Right. I'm just going back to the comment that you made surrounding, that routine that you did.
Right.
If it's the same thing that you're doing and you're not iterating on that movement, then you're not making progress.
I see what you're saying. And it's a matter of what that routine is. Because don't get me wrong, routine is not bad. Routine with no purpose is bad. Right? Yes. Oh, sorry. Was there? No. Back to you, my friend. Oh, I like that, madame.
I feel like movement with routine, and the key thing that I got from your talk, openness.
Yes.
Openness to opportunity.
Right.
So the only reason I'm here today, because I am off college, shameless little brand, is because of openness.
There you go. There you go. And I think, too, with not going down this rabbit hole too much, being very mindful of opportunities, choosing the right yeses. Because you can have a goal, and then people are presenting opportunities left and right. But are those opportunities bringing you to where you want to go, or are they just distractors, right? And as my friend Chris always tells me, because I used to have a hard time saying no, until she made me realize, somebody shaking their head last year, amen, yes, sister, well, I'm talking to you. So here's the story that she always tells me. Your no is somebody else's yes. You're creating an opportunity for someone else, right? So that's one of the things I realized. When I look at it in that context, once again, looking outside of myself, and that my no potentially is creating an opportunity for somebody else, it's much easier for me to say no. Any other questions? I think we're good. And are we ready to start? I have 2 more tickets. I have 2 more tickets. Come on. Who wants a raffle ticket? You get a raffle ticket. You, everybody.
Why don't you do who came the farthest?
Okay. All right. Let's do that. Well, I don't know who came the farthest.
From outside of Canada.
All right. Oh, wait. Yes. No worries.
How do you handle things that happen outside of your control?
Yes.
And how do you then refocus?
Oh, such a good question. I'm glad you asked that. How do you happen things outside of your control, AKA life, right? And how do you refocus? I'm not going to get emotional. There's so many things that happen in our journey. With 5 minutes, so many things that happen in our journey that I can speak from my truth, from my space. There's things that have happened in my journey which have given me the justification to throw in the towel and be like, I'm done. I'm done. And I moved to a space of asking very disempowering questions. Questions like, why me? This isn't fair. My life was supposed to be very disempowering questions. And it's okay to be in that space, because that's real. We all get to that space where somebody passes, somebody gets sick, you get hurt. Whatever it is, it was not in your plan. You get divorced, your spouse dies, whatever it might have been, it wasn't in your plan. So you have to, and this has been what has been worked for me, is I acknowledge those feelings of pissosity, being pissed off, pissosity, I made up that word, pissosity, getting pissed off. It is real, right? that moment of, and I do ask those disempowering questions to a point. Why me? Why not that person? They're mean. Why not them? I'm a good person. And, this is not fair. I allow myself to feel those. But what I don't allow myself to do, as I call it, going into the valley. I allow myself to drive into that valley. What I don't do is build a house in that valley. I don't even park. I might slow down, right? I give myself time to feel that. But then those disempowering questions when you're in that space have to turn into empowering questions like, what am I to learn from this? That's a hard question. I'm getting chills thinking about it because it brings back times when I've had to do that. Ooh, when you're doing the ugly face cry. Not that pretty cry on TV like, you like, ah! Just that. The moments you don't want anybody Snapchatting, posting, or any of that, right? Allowing yourself to be real with yourself in that moment. How did I own anything in that if I did or did not, right? But what am I supposed to walk away learning? And this is the thing. I'll tell you one of the things I do. I say, whatever your God is or your universe, help me see the good that I cannot see. Because when you're in that moment, everything looks bad. Your mother passed. This is bullshit. What is there possibly good could be happening in my life? Took away the person who was my biggest supporter. Help me see the good I cannot see. In that moment, I hear my kids laugh. I'm grateful for my healthy kids, right? Whatever it might be, that's one of the mottos I get into. If I get in an argument with a loved one, ooh, Lord, I'm not going to say nothing but help me see the good I can't see, because right now, it's all dark. Some of those questions I turn over to like, I can't answer, I don't know, but I know there is good, and I'm not going to allow myself to feel like everything is dark, everything is negative, everything is bad, because I'm experiencing this in this moment. That is not the reality. It is this reality for this moment, but it will not be. I will not create this narrative to be the reality for the rest of my life, right? So asking those empowering questions when you are ready to ask yourself that is how you move forward from that, right? And you say, what do I want to create? What is the narrative I want to create for myself from this? How do I want other people to see me, even though I never really care what other people think, right? But what is it that I want to project to the world? I don't know, that might have been way too much for you. I can go on and on, but we can have coffee, we can drink, but oh yeah, I can give you the nitty gritty and the details behind it. But point being is being mindful of the questions you're asking yourself, because it is very hard when you're in those situations when things are out of your control. And we can spiral in this woe's me, this sucks, life sucks, it's not fair to me. But you have to step back and be like, okay, what do I have to be grateful for? And I'm sure the fact that everybody is sitting in this room at this time has at least one thing that they can say, right? So, because this is a privilege, right? This is a privilege that we're all here at this moment, at this time. And that's where having a good squad will help. They'll help you bring yourself out. That one person who's like, the real true diehards are the ones who will sit in that dark valley with you and not say anything. Not tell you what you need to be feeling, not tell you, they just sit there and hold your hand and let you feel it. They're in the closet. Those are the ones that you bring into the closet. On that note, I'm going to close it with me going into the closet. Thank you.
Hello? Wow, thank you very much, Leah. I definitely cried multiple times up there. We were, whew. Okay, so that is our first session. Next, it is breakout time, so we have some down here. We have some up on the third floor. If you are going up to the third floor, please make sure you take the elevator and stay hydrated. I know it's warm out there. And come and find us if you have any questions. But again, thank you, Leah, and thank you, everyone. Enjoy your afternoon.